So please be our guests. It's a very casual environment here at Academy XI, especially with open days. Thanks, Kate. You're from Sydney. Hello, welcome. It's great to hear from you, even though I can't see you. Welcome. There's a lot to cover today within the next hour, but I'll be making introductions to the team. But before we go too far, yeah, just let's look at the agenda for today. We'll talk about our graphic design transform course. That's why we're here, to learn more about the course itself, the structure of the course. You'll learn about the team who leads the course. You'll also hear from a student today. We look at the course key topics, the tools and applications that are taught and used during your studies in graphic design. And also, we'd like to give you flexible options to study with us. At the same time, we've got structured live delivery, which we'll talk about, but also flexibility to learn at your own pace. And this is something that's quite unique in education institutes, and that's something we've developed here specific for Academy XI. So that helps nurture our students to achieve their success in the course and do that in a comfortable environment. But yes, you'll be joined by the guest speakers very soon, but I'd like to introduce a dear colleague of mine, Antonia. Antonia, you're on the screen. You can take the mic. Please introduce yourself and share a bit about what you do.
Sure, thanks, Chris. Hi, everyone. Thanks for attending. So I work with Chris as part of the experience team. So basically, we do everything that we can to make your online experience as smooth as possible. So for example, if you need any non-academic assistance, we help you to put a study plan in place. We help you to navigate the platform. We also put you in touch with your mentors and basically, yeah, whatever you need. So welcome, and I hope to see a lot of you in the future. Thanks. That's all for me, Chris.
Thanks, Antonia. Great to have you here today. The next person I'd like to introduce is Yagmor. So Yagmor is the lead instructor and mentor at Academy XI for all things graphic design transform. Yagmor, thanks for joining us today. Over to you. Introduce yourself.
Thank you, Chris. Again, everyone, my name is Yagmor Sarchin. I am a lead instructor in Academy XI for graphic design course. I do come from a background in visual communication, UX, as well as master design. I'm currently product designer for Australia's leading AI company. I have been in Academy XI for quite a while, where we have built a course structure that our students enjoy, where we blend visual communication best practices with the advancement in our industry. That is a bit about me. And you may be surprised, well, this guy in the photo doesn't necessarily look like the guy in the video. I just get a haircut. Just want to note it out there.
Well worth pointing that out. He's the same person. Thank you, Yagmor.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Would you like to continue, Yagmor, talking about these course assets?
Of course, of course.
Transform course.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So as Chris mentioned earlier, over the years, we have crafted this version of delivering course content, which is tailored to our students. What we deliver in our course is the design best practices to start with. And when we say design, it is specifically in the space of visual communication. And we teach in a way to show where it's applied both physical and digital spaces. Of course, we tie it with the softwares, which is mainly Adobe Suite and Figma, as they are the industry's leading software. Also, we optionally allow students to bring in any of the software that they would like to practice within the course content, where we help them to ease into it and combine it with artificial intelligence. We do have a tailored progression, meaning students are provided a broad range of optional modules. On top of the modules that are delivered for the best practices, we also have an active conversation with our students to understand what they would like to do in their future, and we hone these particular pathways with our mentorship session. And by the end of the course, when you do have your portfolio, you can have access to represent you in the future. This including drawing fundamentals, how to use digital bridges, UI design, producing short animations, and of course, much more. One more many students provided feedback, and we have crafted our course in a way is our portfolio creations. As students are provided with templates and platforms to choose from, we helping students with assessment progression of this course to allow students build their portfolio, meanwhile finalizing the course. Are there any students regarding this course set so far that we would like to answer?
We welcome all questions, everyone. So if you're thinking it, no doubt others in the room will be thinking the same question. So you'll be not only benefiting yourself by asking, you'll be also benefiting other attendees today. So please feel free. This is a safe and comfortable environment where we welcome all questions. And Kate, you've come in with a question regarding the webinar itself today. We're talking primarily about the graphic design transform course, not our graphic design elevate course. However, we can send you more information about this elevate course after today's open day, if you like. All right. Well, yeah. Well, let's move on.
Sure.
Talk a bit more about the platforms and tools we use.
Absolutely. So we've talked about the platform training, and when it comes to the platform training, we really allow students to select from that they would like to do. As our primary deliverable, we're using Figma quite often, as well as the Adobe Suite products. Why do we use Figma? Because it is a collaborative tool. It allows students to jump on board together and work on a canvas live collectively. We try to use this tool day-to-day basis with our course. After each module deliverable in the morning, in an afternoon, we also open up our exercises where we can practice what we have learned. And of course, depending on the module itself and what we have learned, we also open up our Adobe Creative Suites because it is the industry standard software used across many agencies and of course, a lot of products. Saying this software we often use, also communication is at least 50% of your job when you're working in the field of design. So we tie our learnings with how can we apply in the field with our clients, with our peers and the people that we work with. So this is the time where we pull from the optional modules and introduce to our students depending on their needs. And we can use MailChimp, Trello, Padlet, and many other tools depending on our topic. And how do we select these softwares? Each month that we start a project, we continue into that project, and depending of the class desires, our student desires, we tailor a way to deliver that project itself. And depending on the content, we select various tools. So each time that we start a new project, students have an opportunity to experience some other tool. I see there was a question, Kate. Oh, okay. All right. No worries. Also, I would like to mention we are practicing AI in our course. And I can't emphasize enough to understand how much AI integrated in our industry. At the moment, people are using AI as part of a replacement of certain aspects of their job or an enhancement. We practice tools such as Midjourney, Gemini, and Leonardo AI to use various formats. And of course, we are integrated into the tools that we have, or we are using the existing integration that are coming with the tools that we're using. That is all about platform training. Are there any questions?
Doesn't appear to be yet, but yeah, please team, keep the questions coming. Should there be any, happy to answer them by myself or my colleagues. Let's move ahead.
Thank you. So digital illustration is something that comes an optional within our course, but we highly recommend all of our students to pick it up if they have a desire on the topic. Traditionally, illustrations have been made in pen and paper, which we still encourage our students to do in a course. As we cover the visual communication fundamentals, in reality, all you need is pen and paper, bucket of paint, any format, any medium, as long as they can express and deliver a message. However, the times that we would like to take a step further and digitally create stunning illustrations. This is the time where we are using traditional software such as Photoshop to use its existing tools to create illustrations. And those who wish to bring in a different product, such as Procreate, that would require to use a tablet, pen, and if you would like to learn more about drawing skills and if you think that is going to be beneficial for your future, that is also something that we can practice. Of course, we are not limited to these tools. If you would like to practice Wacom, we do have a module available in our course. If you would like to bring any other software, definitely we do have a lead to allow you practice in a medium that you would like to exercise. And furthermore, as we have mentioned that we are using AI tools, we are using tools like Leonardo, which comes with amazing tools like Canvas, allow you to create prompt to image, further editing, bring it back to your tools, from your tools to go Leonardo and bring everything in print. There is an absolute magic that we can create together in this space with our illustrations. Are there any questions for this particular topic?
Doesn't appear to be. Okay, well, any questions, please? Again, you're all invited to ask. Let's move ahead.
For sure. All right. So we have mentioned in this course, we are practicing the visual communication best practices. And this is a skill that would like to gain within this course because it is transitional. Any direction that you would like to go in this space of design, you would like to become a UI designer, you would like to become a UX designer, you may like to do architecture, service design, fashion. In all direction that you would like to go after finalizing this course, practices will be applicable. One thing that we practice within the course though, as much as it is an optional module itself, we are already start using Figma in our course, which is a most common software used for delivering UI design. And we are helping students to understand visual design practices and apply in the space of UI design. Because by finalizing this course, we are already covered 50% of skills that is necessary for us to become a UI designer. And depending on student desire, we'll continue working on these practices. We are demonstrating how to create wireframes, how to create prototypes, and if students desire, deliver your portfolio by finalizing a UI design, which is a fantastic opportunity. Well, I would ask any more questions, but I believe at this point, if you had, you would already put them down. So I am just going to go to the next slide. Portfolio creations. Again, your assessment based on creating your portfolio, because most important thing for us to get you ready for your future. And within our assessments that we're going through in this course, we are creating your portfolio. Starting with the shell, we are practicing all our learnings in case studies. And by the end of this course, when you have finalized your portfolio, you do have multiple case studies demonstrating your skills in the space of graphic design, as well as resume, as well as a complete portfolio that is going to allow you go meet your future colleagues. Talking about a portfolio creation itself, it is a big question for many people just starting off. Where I have to start? Well, we have practiced UI design in our course, which allow you to create your portfolio in Figma if you desire. You just need to tag along the journey, and by the end of the course, you already have it. If you would like to create it in a different medium, such as Adobe Portfolio, we do have a full module, comes with full tutorials that allow you to create your portfolio in that medium. We also have tutorials created in the past months, allow you to select from the options that you have to have a medium to start your portfolio. And of course, myself and other mentors in this course assist you in this journey to have a portfolio that you love, that you're proud to present others. All right, let's come to our next topic, which is how you will learn. Our course structure will be very flexible. However, there is a practice that we follow, which is you set your own pace. Everybody is different, everybody in a different stage of their life. Some people may have full-time availability. Some others may be working. Some others may be working and parents. And depending on the pace we set, we recommend you how much time you should be investing in your course, how long would it take you to deliver this course. As much as we're trying to keep things flexible and suiting your lifestyle, we want to make sure that we are accountable for our progression. When it comes to our live sessions, it's Tuesday through Thursday, every second week, 7 to 9 p.m. We do start with our modules, we put things inside an exercise, and of course, at the end, we do have Q&A with our live sessions. In between each week that we had live sessions, we also have a week of exercise and share with others. We do have instant messaging, meaning Slack is our primary source of communication. All of your mentors online, most of the time, anytime that you need any assistance, you may reach out, and potentially, if your mentor is online, you're going to get a response straight up. If it's not, usual response time about a couple hours. And of course, we do have our one-on-one sessions, which is the very, very important part of having this course. Everything that we have learned in this course comes with visual communication best practices, a journey tailored to you. And to make sure that we can tie everything together, we want to catch up with our mentors. We want to make sure that we close all the gaps so we are ready for our future when we are graduate from this course. For any reason, if you miss any of the live sessions, we do have recordings available for you to go back, have a look. You've been already there, you just need a recap. Again, go back and have a look. Maybe you started this month and wondering what people have been doing in the previous months. Have there been any tutorials that you can benefit from? Absolutely, we have a library of tutorials and live session recordings available to you.
Yagmar, I'd like to jump in with a great question from Emily. Emily asks,
Please.
thank you. Emily asks, would the live sessions be covering the same topic from Tuesday to Thursday or different each afternoon?
Yep, great question. Thank you. Each afternoon we have different topic. Our current structure is we do have month A and month B, and this is happening in a cycle, meaning when you are starting a month, we do cover module 1 and 2 in the first and third week. And the following week, we are covering module 3 and close up with motion design. And throughout this time, we are covering a project. We are finalizing a project, meaning we have used certain sets of tools and exercises. In the next month, we are starting the same modules again, but with the difference, we are starting a whole new project. And depending on the requirements, we are using different skills, we are using different softwares. Depending on the skills, combination of skills within the team that we currently have in those live sessions, we may adjust the topics that we are delivering within that module. So even though that you are coming back to the course 2 months after, all the learning may be totally new in the same topic.
Great. Thank you very much, Yagmar. Great question, Emily. Thank you for asking it.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we have already talked about the pace, but there is a recommended hours for each phase. For the phase 1, which we call the full-time pace, we do recommend students to invest at least 30 to 40 hours per week, which will be delivering of 2 modules per week, combination of 1 core module and 1 optional module. When we're talking about a pace 2, which we may call part-time, it's again 15 to 25 hours. And when we talk about pace 3, it is about 8 to 12 hours. I hear you. You may say, well, I'm very busy. I have a job. I'm a parent. I am same boat with you guys. When we would like to start a whole new journey, it is definitely achievable. All right, live sessions, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. every first and third week of the month. We are delivering our live sessions in Zoom. All sessions are recorded and of course comes with all the plugins that may allow us to make a more collaborative session. And in between each live session week, we would like to practice and share everything that we have learned the previous week. We would like to keep practicing, bring it in the shape that we would like to share with our students and share. And of course, we don't necessarily expect people to complete everything in Polish Up. Providing and getting feedback is one essential part of becoming designer. As we practice what we have learned, we want to get on board with our peers, receive feedback, provide feedback to them, and collaborate together. And if there is no question about,
oh, I don't believe there's any questions. Sorry to cut you off if I had a bit of a connection lag there. But
no.
any questions related to the live session agenda or the study paces, please know that this is designed for offering true flexibility. And the notion of the paces are designed based on previous students that we've worked with over the years. We understand that we have busy lives outside of our studies and we like to remain as flexible as possible. So if someone has the goal of working as a full-time student, you have the ability to do so. Or a part-time or less than part-time, you have the ability to do so. But we also understand that some weeks are busier than others. So these paces are a mechanism designed to tailor-make your study schedule, but they're also interchangeable, meaning if I'm a part-time student and I have 20 hours per week, some weeks it might be more like 10 hours per week. That's okay. We just want to keep students focused and progressing forward. Okay, so again, it's an interchangeable pace that you can set for yourself and we can guide you through your studies. Thank you, Yagmor, for touching on the live session. But we are joined now by a very special guest who's a current student of graphic design transfer. And Yagmor, would you like to hand over to Sylvia?
Of course. Sylvia is among us here. We're going to say hello in a second. And she has been with us in a couple of months, and I can say I have been amazed by all the creations that she brought in front of us. Before I talk any more about her, I'm just going to pass it to Sylvia so she can talk on her behalf.
All right. Hi, everyone. So yeah, just a little bit of background on me. I'm Hungarian. I recently moved to Sydney, so a lot of things are new for me. I just moved like 6 months ago. And just the background, what I do, like for the last 10 plus years, I'm doing project management, and what just Chris mentioned, I'm working full time as a project manager at the moment. So I needed something that more flexible for me. And the interest comes from graphic design. It's because for the last 7 years, I worked for agencies as well. So I was managing an agency for 6 years, and now I'm working at an agency as a web project manager. And I always wanted to change career because it's quite tough to be a project manager, to be honest. And I loved graphic design. I love working with graphic designer. I consider myself as a creative person. So that was the journey for me, that I want to be a graphic designer and probably a motion designer. So that's my future plan. And I was searching for solutions. Where can I study and do that? If you guys want to reach out to me, just a side note, there's my contact information. Anyone who wants to know more about myself or the course, you can reach me either via email or LinkedIn. So why did I choose academic XI? As I said, like I'm working full time, so I needed something that is very flexible. But also, since I'm working for the last 7 years in agency environment, I knew the tools. And previously, I studied graphic design in Singapore, and the tools were not up to date. And when I check academic XI, I really like that we cover all the tools, all the graphic design tools, so Photoshop, Illustration, After Effects, Figma, Framer, Webflow. So it's a very comprehensive tool set that we cover, and that really appealed to me. The other thing, which is like strange, but for me it's kind of obvious, that when I see the sales deck or the sales material, most of the school were not didn't have really nice sales, well-designed sales and well-structured. And it really stood out for me that Academic XI's brochure was really, really beautifully done. And I knew that, okay, I want to learn from these guys because they know how to do it. And then when I reach out to them in 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, the sales rep called me. He was very helpful. He was asking the correct questions so that he guided me to the right direction, which course is the best suit for me. Is it graphic design? Is it UX, UI? Is it the transfer or the long version? So it really made it very quickly. And I think in 2 days I was like signed off. It was a very smooth process. And obviously, since I'm new to the country, the challenge is to finding a job. So that was the last kind of trigger point for me, that they helped me for 90 days with the career support to find me and land me a job in a country that I just, everything is new for me. So it's a hard one because obviously I have agency background, but it might not be easy for me to apply for positions. And having this help, it makes a lot of changes for me. And the rest of the schools, SAE that I applied and Torrance, they didn't provide these services. And yeah, it was quite an easy, quick decision for me. And then obviously I have some challenges that I wanted to overcome. And one is that, okay, graphic design, but that's kind of a big area. So I can be a brand designer, a product designer, a motion designer, a UX UI designer, and I had no idea which one is suitable for me. But having a comprehensive learning materials that we cover everything, I'm able to have a clear vision what is the best area that for me to choose from. Also, I have the mentor guidance. So we have free mentors, and they, having a one-to-one session with them, they really help. Like Elmore really helped me to find my voice, find my aesthetic, and find my area of interest. And also because they're all very different, they are all good in different areas because they have different expertise. Obviously, Yagmur is well, like known for AI and product design. Svetlana is more for the branding and typography, if that's your interest. And then we have Matt, who is After Effects genius, to be honest. So it's always good to go someone who knows what they are doing. And now I have a clear vision since I joined in November, like what am I gonna do? And I actually never thought that motion design would be my interest. But thanks to Academic XI, it is. The other thing, as I said, I'm new to the country. So for me to connect with people with similar interests, and my classmates are absolutely amazing and very supportive. So I learn a lot from them. They inspire me every single day. We talk on Slack, so we are in connection almost day-to-day basis. And that's really helpful for me. The next part is how to balance work and study, because I work full-time, but I want to study and I want to switch jobs like quickly. But since, as it was mentioned before, everything is online and recorded, and I have my own pace, it makes it very easy. So I don't have this stress on my shoulder that I have to attend, and if I don't attend, it's the end of the world. It's very easy, very straightforward. And I was a little bit hesitant to learn online because there is like a stigma around it, and also how to create assets and designs, and then how they're gonna check it if I'm doing it in the right way. But yes, as I said, like we have live sessions when we show our work, and we also have a 10 hours of mentorship support, so I can always book any of the mentors and they will help me and give me feedback on my work, and then I know what to do. So it's a very great thing actually for me to study at Academic XI. If you are really into the graphic design, you have everything you need to start this career, to be honest. Yep. And yeah, some of my work, I don't know if Yagmur wants to comment, but yeah, I did some brochure design. So I do a lot of things. As I said, I wanted to figure out my angle. I'm still searching for my aesthetic, but I really like the punk vibe and I like to do a little bit of twist. So I like to push the boundaries. Yeah, feel free to reach me if you want to see more of my work. Yeah, Talking Heads is my ultimate favorite. Every time I see it, I just feel good. Like, that's really me. If you want to know my work, that's like one of my best, I think. Yeah, and more of the work. Yeah. On the left, the Hanoko design is my own branding, so that is gonna be my design company. So I'm in the middle of doing my own branding, and then the right side you have a poster design. This was Photoshop manipulation, manipulating 6 images and just cutting sections, and as I said, like experimenting how to make a sick design, and you would not able to recognize the original images. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like that's about me.
Sylvia, thank you so much for coming in today
Yeah,
and
thank you.
showcasing not only your brilliant work, but sharing your journey with us, from reasons why selecting Academic XI through to sharing and producing this fantastic work towards your own branding, which looks phenomenal. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. And yes,
Thank you,
as I
Sylvia.
said, reach out to me anytime, anyone, if you have any questions. Thank you.
All right, team. So we're looking now at the overall course structure. The course is broken into 2 main phases, where the phase 1 really focuses on what Yagmor is encompassing, what he stands for, what he's talking about in terms of live delivery, all the tools and applications, that social interaction. It also includes one-on-one mentoring in our learner management system called NovoEd. This is where all the learning content is housed, and it's recently been upgraded to add all these beneficial tools in AI that Yagmor mentioned. But at the same time, there's 12 modules to complete. There are additional resources at your disposal. We have that Slack channel where any new tools or features or interesting articles that comes across our tables are shared and featured in the Slack channel. So it's a great way to keep you relevant, keep you updated and current in industry practice. And at the same time, generating your portfolio as you move through phase 1. Now, phase 2 gets really interesting because this is where we adopt client projects. So students work in teams. As a team of designers, you'll be working with a real client on a real project. And the project is designed, screened by me. The client's screened as well, and they give back. And at the same time, students receive this wealth of knowledge by working with real people on real projects. And that project becomes part of your portfolio. The business that we work with, those who share interest in this integrated client project within our Transform course, they continually say to us that the students have outmatched their original expectations. They've exceeded them. And we constantly receive this feedback, which is just incredible. So it's due to the good graces of Yagmor and his team of mentors who ensure that students are ready to enter client projects in phase 2. So in phase 2, there are 2 project sprints and they will run for 4 weeks each sprint. So that's 1 project over 1 month. And then the second project would be your final month of study. Now, as an example, if you complete phase 1 in 2 or 3 months, or if you're a phase 2 or 3 students and you choose to take a longer time, that's okay. Because at the same time, once you've completed phase 1, you'll be eligible to enter phase 2 and conduct your first project in a team. Okay, there's team onboarding and there's team collaboration. There's exercise to get to know every team member in the course, but at the same time, understand the brief. You'll be led by a project supervisor, so don't you worry. You'll be in good hands because we don't want to throw you into a client project without that supervision, because this is on-the-job training as such. So there's 2 sprints, sprint 1, sprint 2, and I'm showing sprint 2, so apologies for that, it's on me. But after you've completed your second sprint, you'll graduate. We'll hold a graduation ceremony. We'll throw the mortarboards up in the air. You'll gain your credentials. You'll receive a certificate of completion and a digital badge that you can link to the likes of LinkedIn. And this is a great way to promote that you've completed a very highly regarded course that's well received from industry. Now, after graduation, you have the opportunity to jump into phase 3, which is the Career Support and Talent Services program. Now, this program works. The program basically prepares you to apply for job roles. We don't apply for job roles on your behalf, but we give you training to make you confident in your LinkedIn profile, your CV, your resume and cover letter, and all the necessary tools to equip you to present yourself extremely well at an interview and apply for roles. So this program lasts for 180 days, but we have students receiving roles well within that period. Okay. We also have a career toolkit that we have students work on from day 1 or at intervals through the course as a side project. And the career toolkit prepares you to enter phase 3. So that's looking at the course structure. But as for the nitty-gritty, I might hand back to Yagmor, who can talk more at length of phase 1.
Thank you,
Yagmor,
Chris.
over to you.
In the first phase that we're going to go through this month and B strategy that we have talked earlier. Coming in a little bit more details, we do have 4 modules in the course itself as our core deliverable. Starting with our visual communication basics, in our break, we start our portfolio. Together with your mentors, you're crafting a path towards delivering the shell of your portfolio. And of course, in parallel, we're starting our second module where we talk about personal branding. Covering various contents relating this topic, we start our first case study in the break. And of course, in parallel, as going into the next module, we talk about layout and composition, which is essential to both print and digital spaces. Now we do have 2 things open at the same time. We're building our portfolio and we are progressing towards our case study. So in our breaks now, we're exercising what we have learned and how it reflects in our case studies. And in the last module of the cycle, we are practicing motion design. As Sylvia mentioned earlier, we do have a phenomenal person to lead you in this journey and create amazing assets that is going to be loved by many others. And of course, in break of the following this module, we are wrapping up our first case study. And of course, we are submitting our portfolio shell if you haven't submitted yet. So I have said portfolio shell because it is just the beginning of our journey. As we're completing more and more case studies, each time that we start a cycle, we are honing our understanding of each module and we are completing a portfolio within the pace that is suitable to us. We do also have additional resources, which are totally optional, but we always recommend students to pick at least one of them to enhance their learnings within this course. We do have generative AI, Figma for prototype, digital drawing, animation, starting your own business for those who would like to start a freelance or an agency. And of course, we are tying it up to marketing needs because we may be a one-man show and would like to market our business itself. That is all about the phase 1. I am passing back to Chris. If you do have any questions, please note it in the channel.
Thank you, Yagmor. And we welcome all questions about phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3 teams. So please use the chat function or the Q&A function here in Zoom. We'll be more than happy to answer your questions. So thank you for passing back, Yagmor. So we have phase 2 again, just to recap. So we love a bit of recap here at Academy XI. Phase 2 is very much focused on client projects. So again, there's 2 client projects. So ultimately, phase 1, you'll generate your own individual portfolio. In phase 2, you'll work on 1 client project over a month, and that's 4 weeks. Where in week 1, you'll have all the team building exercises, get to know the brief, prepare questions for when you meet the client in week 2. And you'll engage with the client, you'll ask them directly questions, they'll respond and they'll give you a deeper insight in the project objectives. Then in week 3, we have a halfway check-in, which essentially for a client, it's a halfway check-in point. So you'll come back with concepts that they can then admire and give feedback on to allow you in week 4, or for the client week there for week 3. In your week 4, you'll be able to prepare a showcase your final prototypes, your final concepts, your final presentation. And that's where you'll receive all the good graces and gratitude from your client, and they will, allow you to accept your portfolio as an upgrade with their project outcomes. And so, yes, there's 2 clients, 2 client projects running over 2 months. And then you graduate, and then you have the opportunity to opt in to our career support program. Okay, so again, you're in very good hands. That's where you exit from the experience of Academy XI. You move into a new area with the Career and Talent Services Program Director, and you'll be in really great hands for the next 180 days or until you land a role within that time frame. It's all very exciting. But that concludes everything in terms of the course. But we're joined by now a dear colleague of ours called Heidi. And Heidi is a career consultant here at Academy XI to talk about how to enroll in our course. So Heidi, I'll hand over to you. Welcome to the Open Day. I'll hand over to you now.
Thank you, Chris, and hi everyone. My name's Heidi, as Chris said. I've been with Academy XI for nearly about a year now. I have about 13 years of experience in education. In that time, I've mostly worked with design and technology portfolios, but essentially what my role is and what our roles are is to help you, feel comfortable with your decision and make the right decision and guide you through the initial stages of your journey with Academy XI. I guess, to summarize or recap what was being discussed here today, the courses that we have on scope are areas of very high demand. We continually analyze the Australian job market, and then we create bootcamp style courses around those skill gaps. So it's really, really important for us to provide you with content that is up to date and meets the demands of the industry like this course does. Just to let you know, we have an intake coming up on the 4th of March. That is our next intake. We still have positions remaining in that intake. For people who have attended this session today, we have some special offers. So we'd love to go through those offers with you. So please get in touch with one of us. We're really happy to help, and we're really passionate about the training that we provide here at Academy XI. So we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much, Heidi. And if you're interested in learning more, you can speak to Heidi directly. Her email and mobile number is shown on the screen. So if you'd like to write those numbers down or her email address down, please do so, or take a screenshot to do so in the future. Thank you so much, Heidi, and thank you for joining today's Open Day. And team, that concludes our presentation today. So first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you for using this time to come to our webinar, our Open Day, to learn more about the Graphic Design Transform course. And we welcome all questions, as we've suggested so many times already throughout the session. But if you have any final questions, we'd love to hear from you. So yeah, please be my guest. And I know that we have the Q&A function or the chat function available for asking questions. Both are welcome. So we have some attendees remaining. So please, jump in and let us know if you have any questions or any thoughts about the subject matter today. Oh, Emily, thank you. Thank you very much for attending. But anyone else is welcome to ask any questions or any general questions about the industry. Over to you. Well, at this stage, there aren't any additional questions. We'll give it a couple of minutes, but we may wrap up early if that's the case, or if any attendees have to leave, we thank you so much for attending, and we wish you a great day. And thank you very much. We'll stay on the line for a couple more minutes. Okay, well, I hear crickets, so if there's no questions or comments, we might wrap it up. But I want to wish everyone a great day. Thank you for joining today's Open Day, and have a great evening. Thanks all.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.